Okay, next we'll have Lori Brown from Buddy's Purpose. She lost her son, Justin. She's one of my best friends, her Julie and Sherry. I think our boys are together all the time.
Okay, so before I start telling my story, I want everybody to applaud Debbie. 500 people, over 500 people in church. That is amazing. This event rocks, and she rocks, and I really don't know what I'd do with the people who called me if I didn't have Debbie. So me and Debbie met 4 years ago when she was planning this walk, because we had already had 2 walks under our belt, maybe 3 walks. No, 2 under our belt. We were working on our 3rd at the time. So I'm going to back up, and as she said, my name is Lori Brown. And I know when you are in recovery or you're working a treatment, you say what you are. And I am a grieving mother. That's what I am. Number 1 title I wake up to every day is grieving mom. Even though I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, I'm an aunt, I'm a wife, I'm a dog lover, the title that I cannot forget is grieving mom. Because I wake up every day and the first thing I think of is my child. Was he bad? Some people may say he's bad because he used drugs. And we need to stop saying people who use drugs are bad. They are not bad. They are sick. They have an illness. Look up the definition of addiction. It is a brain disease, a reoccurring brain disease. It does not go away. And we need to pound that into people's heads every day. As you can tell, I am no more the devastated grieving mom. I'm pissed off. And you should be pissed off. 3 overdoses in Ottawa yesterday that we know of. 3. Why? Because of greed? That's why. Because of our system not knowing what to do about it? We are seeing steps in the right direction. But unless we talk about it daily, we're not going to kick it. It's not going to go away. People don't just snap their fingers and it goes away. I thought my son could stop. I'm not going to lie. My son was 26 years old when he died on November 11th, 2011. Does anybody know what the number 11 is supposed to mean? Not devastation. That was supposed to be a happy, lucky day for people. People were supposed to make good fortune because the number 11 was good. It is also Veterans Day, which I didn't realize for years because of the grief I lived. You know, when Veterans Day comes, I think of my son. He fought a war that's still going on, a war that took more lives than any other war. But what do people look at him and think? That he was bad, that he was a junkie? Well, he wasn't. He was loved. He was a son, a nephew, a grandson. He was a fisherman. He loved the outdoors. And he was also a manipulator who could get $30 when he asked for 10. I also hate the word enable. I did not enable him. I loved him. I tried my best. There was times I had to walk away because I couldn't do it. And there was times I just had to be there for him. I feel grateful that on November 11th, 2011, we were in a good place. We were talking. We had kind of a mutual understanding. You don't come to my house unless I'm home. I will do what I can for you. And I'll always be there if you want help. But back then in 2011, there was no Buddy's Purpose, there was no Dusty Roads, there was no Perfectly Flawed, there was no Peoria projects, there was nothing here. So today, take advantage of all the resources you have. Talk to them. I'm not saying we're going to get somebody to treatment tomorrow, but talk to them. Educate yourself. Learn what's happening. Debbie, Sherry, Julie helped get Hope, our ambulance, put together as our walking, or I should say, our moving billboard. So our moving billboard goes to parades, events like today, because people are ashamed to talk about addiction. So we wanted people just to be able to read a phone number and call us at their convenience. And that's what we want you to do today also. We also have markers. Anybody can sign the billboard, whether you're in recovery, whether it's in memory of someone. We'll get them out after the speakers are done, and we can let you sign them. Another thing I kind of want to bring forth is, don't forget, Debbie is a nonprofit, and she does depend on our donations. So buy a 50-50, buy a raffle item, buy a t-shirt. Support her as much as you can today. She takes people to treatment. Her time alone is worth every donation we give her. Gas money, whatever we do, we help with sober living. If somebody calls us and said, I can't afford sober living, can you help? We chip in with donations and try to get them another week until maybe they get a job and can afford it themselves. Just remember that we are all here for each other. Talk to the people in the crowd. Don't feel alone. It's about friendship. It's about having someone to reflect on. When my son died, I had a person I knew since probably 5th grade come up to me and said, your son was an addict? Yes, he was. No, I didn't talk about it. Why would I? So they could look down on me as a parent? Because there too we get stigmatized, because what did we do wrong, What did we drink in front of them? Did we smoke in front of them? Did we, abuse them? What made them do this? I don't know why my child went to drugs. I really don't know why. I feel that he never felt like he belonged. But yet when I wanted to take him to a doctor, psychiatrist, so maybe we could get him on meds, I don't want to be different. Why would he think that? Why? Because the minute you have something like that at school, learning disabilities, he suffered with learning disabilities, so he was labeled different already. We need to quit labeling people. We are all human. We make mistakes. Our brains don't work exactly alike. I can get up here and talk all day long because, why? Honestly, because my child is dead. I didn't start public talking until the first Operation Promise at LP High School, 6 months after he died, was my first speaking. I've never done this before either, but now after 7 years, almost 7 years, you kind of learn that you can find the strength to do what you want to do. I established Buddy's Purpose with Julie Wandorf. We had our first walk in 2012 in Peru, and we go back and forth each year from Peru to Ottawa. This year it happens to be next Saturday at Centennial Park in Peru. I started public speaking soon after that. Buddy's Purpose became a nonprofit in 2014. We have trained over 200 people in naloxone, and one of our kids was used yesterday. We do not believe it saved his life, but it bought it some time until the EMTs came and gave him more. So if anybody wants to be trained today, go to my tent when speakers are over, and I will train whoever needs to be trained. And I have kits that I distribute for free from the Jolt Foundation. If today doesn't work for you, Debbie also trains and distributes. We will train and distribute next week at the Buddy's Purpose Walk. We will train and distribute August 31st at the Perfectly Flawed building in LaSalle. You can find all of this on our Facebook pages. We will also have a candlelight vigil at Baker Lake on August 31st at 7:15. And more than anything, that is just remembering our child. It's not the education like the next 2 weekends are. It's remembering who our kids were. You know, the smiles, the laughs, what we miss most about them. It's so much to fit into one day that we need that special grief as a parent. I can be as strong as I want, but I'm going to tell you the grief carries. I carry him with me all the time. And there's a huge thing on Facebook about the whale that carried its dead young for like 13 days, and how all the whales around him helped carry the baby until the mom was ready to let go. Nobody helps us carry our grief. It's a load. And if you have a loved one that needs help, talk to one of us. We also have Dare to Care meetings twice a month. First Thursday of the month in Ottawa at Crossbridge Church, 6:30. Third Thursday of the month at Crossbridge Church in Peru at 6:30. And all it is a bunch of loved ones who love someone who is suffering with the disease of addiction. So I'm going to stop because I got to leave something to talk to you about next week. But please remember, the naloxone. Let's train some people today, okay? Doesn't matter if you have someone using drugs or not using drugs. Carry it with you. Couple key notes though, if you carry naloxone, do not leave it in the heat over 90 degrees and do not leave it in the freezing weather. If it has an expiration date on it, but it's all you have, don't be afraid to use it. Them pharmaceutical companies have to date it, doesn't mean it's no good, okay? Thank you for coming, and let's give Deb another round.
I just want to mention this before I get off track and forget about it. You know, heroin kills, everybody knows that. All drugs, alcohol kill eventually. What's taken our kids nowadays is fentanyl. Fentanyl, carfentanil, they're elephant tranquilizers. And that's what they're putting in everybody's dope nowadays that's killing them. I just lost my own nephew 3 weeks ago to fentanyl. I have test strips that I would gladly give anybody who's using. Give them my phone number, I will get the strips to them. That way they're at least aware there's fentanyl in it. You can use a lower amount. You know, I don't know what the solution is. If anybody has any clue what it is, please let me know. I'll work on it. I don't know what else to do, but we're still losing people. Lake County has had more overdoses this year than ever before so far. We're on track to beat a record. So that's all I have to say for now. When I need something, I generally turn to somebody in AA or NA. They've been so helpful, the Streator, Ottawa groups. One gentleman, all I gotta do is call him. If he can do it, he will. I'd like to introduce Gordon Newman.
I'm Gordon and I'm a heroin addict. I've been a heroin addict for 30 years. I'm here to share my experience, strength, and hope. Hope everybody's got water and something to eat because we'll be here for about 6 days. The crap that I've done in my life. I'm grateful to be clean and sober because of the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. People out here, lots of support. I couldn't do it by myself. I'll share what I used to be like and what happened and what I'm like now. Before I came into the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, NA, and HA, I was a sleazy, greasy dope fiend. I spent 22 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections because I wanted to run the show and run it my way. My way got me that seat with the Illinois Department of Corrections. Thinking I could do this, I could do that, and I'm this big, tough, macho man. I was nothing. I was a shitty father, shitty son, brother, didn't care about nobody, didn't even care about myself. I didn't even like myself, but I thought I did. I'd look in the mirror, my eyes would be sunk in the back of my head, and I thought I still looked good. You know, running in and out of stores, stealing everything that was around, didn't care. Stole from my own mother, my own mother, black eyes. I'm not proud of my stuff. This is the kind of things I did when I was a kid. But I'm not like that today because of the program of Alcoholics Anonymous and NA. You know, I have a life that's worth living. There's a book that's called The Big Book. For me, that book has saved my life, along with my sponsor, the people in the 12-step programs. The first 164 pages of that book taught me how to get sober, stay sober, and live sober. My sobriety date is 6/26/16. Look at all them sixes. A guy like me, I got all sixes in there. But you know what? The devil is real, but I trust God today. I clean house and I help others. That's how I stay clean and sober. I want to blame everybody for the things that I did. My family, my friends, my kids. You know, until I came in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, and look where the problem was. It was me. I hated you people before I even came there, and I hated myself too. But it's not like that today. I have a great life, and it's because I came into the program, the 12-step programs, and got plugged in. You know, I'm the kind of guy when you turn your back and you lost something, I'm going to help you look for it. I'm the one that took it. It's not like that today. And I do have struggles. Life is hard. You know what? There is hope. If a guy like me, and a heroin addict for 30 years, can get clean and sober, anybody can do this. But you cannot do this alone. I couldn't do it alone. I sure tried numerous times. There is hope. There is hope. You know, and I didn't think I could do it. But until main key for me, I had to get honest with me. If I wasn't honest with myself, I'm not going to be honest with nobody else. I'm not going to share what's really going on with me deep down inside. And those are the things I had to do. The things that it doesn't happen overnight. It's whatever I put into this. I went to any lengths to get high. I go to any lengths to stay clean and sober. I'm the kind of guy who would hang on the west side of Chicago for days. I wouldn't change my socks or my shoes for 2-3 weeks. I thought I'd look good. I had to peel that shit off when I came home. You know, those are the kind of things I did. But you know what? It's not like that today. And it takes hard work. I don't care what anybody said. Just come in here and plug in. It's work. It's whatever I put into it is what I'm going to get out of it. And it's hard work. And I work at it every day. I have struggles. There's good days. There's bad days. But it's okay. I know who the problem is. When I start finding faults in other people, that's the kind of crap that's going on inside me, deep down inside. I'm looking at everybody else because I don't want to worry about what's going on with me. I want to be honest with myself. You know what happens when I keep doing that? I get high. I go backwards. And I've done it numerous times, over and over. I know I'm pacing the floors, but that's okay. And I'm just grateful for all the 12-step programs because I had to get a sponsor. I had to work the steps. I had to give back. It was freely given to me, so I give it back. Like when Debbie calls, if I can go, I go. If somebody calls me at 2 o'clock in the morning and they're not drunk, they're struggling, I'm going. I'm not coming to get somebody at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're drunker than hell and you're crying and whining. Call me in the morning, then I'll come and get you. We'll talk then. But I can't talk to drunks. I didn't want to hear nothing. You know, we got all the answers. And sometimes I still think I got all the answers. But you know what? The more I keep coming around, the more I find out I don't. I know who the problem is. It's me. You know, I'm not going to blame my kids. You know, my kids are barely in my life. I just bought my granddaughter a bicycle. I ain't heard nothing from them since. You know what? I can accept that today. Because the things I've done to them kids, you know, they got the right to be mad. You know? It takes a long time for that way. I guess I should say trust me. You know? It took a long time. 20, 30 years of a heroin addiction. That just doesn't. Trust doesn't just come back overnight. You know. I'll share some of the promises of Alcoholics Anonymous. We talked about this in the meeting yesterday. You know, today because I'm clean and I'm sober. When I first started coming around, I had no job, no home, hopeless, hated myself. Today, after 2 years and a couple of months, I have my own business. I have a car. I have a home because I did whatever it takes, and I do this on a daily basis. I do whatever it takes to stay clean and sober. And I had to find a power greater than myself to stay clean and sober. I'm involved in church. I go to church. I go to meetings on a daily basis because when I stopped going to meetings before and I stopped praying, you know what happened? I got high. And I know that too. So I'm scared not to go to meetings. I'm scared not to pray. I'm scared not to help other people because when I did them things before, this butt of mine got high. And when I go to the bitter end. I wake up in a prison cell and say, what the hell happened again? I know exactly what happened. I stopped working a 12-step program. I took my own will back. My will gets me nothing but trouble every single time. So I'm grateful that I'm clean and sober. But I know one thing. I cannot do this by myself. And if there's anybody out there that's still in their addiction, just remember, Debbie just talked about it. The stuff they got out there today is like the new improved tire. It will wash your ass away. And heroin just doesn't destroy families, it takes lives. I lost my brother to a heroin overdose. And it should have been me. I was in the Illinois Department of Corrections and had to go see him for the last time. He was in a casket. And I'm the one that introduced him to that shit. And that's just what it is, shit. And nothing good ever comes from that. So don't think, if you're out there using, you like the way you feel, I promise you, it will not get better. It will get worse. I know. 30 years ago, nothing ever came out good. Nothing. And it won't. I can make you a promise. I'm not a promise maker because I was a promise breaker my whole life. So if I say I'm going to do something today, I'll do it. You know, I don't have all the answers. You know, I still, like I said, I struggle all the time. But you know what? I'm not going to pick up a bag of dope and shoot dope if my ass falls off. I'm not, because nothing good comes from it. And I went on my first vacation. I think it was 34 years. Last week I went on my first vacation. That's because of the 12-step program and people like you that taught me there is an easier, softer way. The hard part's getting in there and admitting you're an addict and doing what it takes. And that's what I had to do. You know? And I love my life today. I want to see a raise of hands. How many people out here are in their first year of recovery? Just a raise of hands. Nobody? One? Thanks for being honest and raising your hand. My sponsor had me do service work when I first started coming around. Clean up, make coffee, welcome people. So your first year of sobriety, he made me do this. Thanks for volunteering to help clean up this place at the end when it's over. I'm grateful. Yes, I am. You know? And I know who the problem is. You know, I'm the kind of guy I want to blame everybody for my stuff. It doesn't work that way. Nobody put a needle in my arm for them 30 years. I did that. And that's just what it is. I guess I might have said a few swear words. I wasn't supposed to do that, but I'm an addict. You know, I make mistakes, but I'm not a mistake today. I'm here, but I'm not all there either. But you know what? I'm grateful. You know? And if there's anybody out there, there is hope. If I can do this, and I do not do this alone, so don't think you can do it alone, because I don't do this alone. I go to lots of meetings. I sponsor people because people help me, and I need help on a daily basis still. So I sponsor people. I do whatever I can for the next suffering alcoholic. It was freely given to me, so I need to give back as well. I'm grateful for everybody that came out. Just remember, there is hope, but we cannot help nobody if you don't ask for help. We're not alone. We're not mind readers, so get a hold of some of these ladies, find 12-step meetings. If you're struggling, share with somebody, because it's not going to get better if you just keep thinking you're going to drink and drug. It'll go away. If it don't go away, it gets worse. And a guy like me, when I relapse, I pick up right where I left off. Thank God I haven't relapsed yet. And yet stands for you're eligible too. And I heard in the 12-step program as well, when I think I'm nuts, it's because I'm not using the steps. It's very true. And steps are designed for living that works. When I first came to the program, I did the 12 steps before the meeting was over with. And you know what happened? I got high and I got drunk. Because I wanted to do it my way. But it's not like that. I have a great life because of the 12-step programs. I had lots of friends. I didn't have no friends when I was using. Towards the end there, I was by myself. I didn't want to be around nobody. I'd stay at my mother's house, sneak in when I could, and shoot dope up in the bedrooms and stuff. And nothing good. It's a terrible life. It takes lives. I'm grateful that I'm clean and sober. I know I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to go to a meeting today. I'm going to go to a meeting tomorrow if I'm alive, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for everybody that came out. And just remember, if you got kids, you can't save them. You got to send them to a 12-step program. You will try your butt off. My mother did. My mother was an enabler as well. You know, trying to help. All we're doing is killing them. We are. I've had guys work for me. I pay them. They go out. They get high. I had one just recently. Another chance. He worked for me again. I paid him. He went out and they found him on the street in Streator here. He OD'd. Thank God he's still alive. And I'm the asshole because I won't let him work with me again. I say, hey, you can't work for me. All I'm doing is killing you. I'm not helping you. But he don't want to understand it. When he sobers up, he'll understand. Because I was there and walked in his shoes. My shoes get heavy sometimes too. But you know what? I'm not perfect. I'm not a saint. I make mistakes. I say things I shouldn't. There's a lady sitting right there in the front row. I used to cuss her out in meetings, and now I'm friends with her. Because I was a creep. I wasn't working the program. That's what happened to me. You know, I was looking at everybody else's problems and not my own, because I didn't want to see what was really going on. So I know I'm the problem. Nobody else is. It's not my kids. It's not my parents. You know, my mom couldn't do nothing for my brother that overdosed either. Those are choices we make. My mother blames herself still to this day. I should have did something different. No, we get high because we want to get high. If I was to pick up a drug or a drink today, it's because I want to get high more than I want to stay sober. Everything else is a lie. That's bull crap. I'm just lying to myself. I wanted to get high more than I wanted to stay sober. It's that simple. It's a simple program for complicated people. Boy, can I complicate stuff. But I try not to complicate things today. And I heard around the programs too, and this is very true. Winners do what they have to do, losers do whatever they want to do. You see where I'm standing? Because I did whatever I wanted to do. Thanks to the program, God and AA, I'm a clean man today, and I'm grateful, and I have some really good friends. You know? And all my friends are in 12-step programs. I don't have a lot of friends. And I just went on a vacation as well, and I felt uncomfortable with all my family members even. And I've been clean for over 2 years. Just being around all of them, you know, I've done a lot of things. I've made amends, you know, and they say, okay, everything's fine. You know, my actions show, so I make a living amends. I just keep moving forward. I trust God. Without God, I'm nothing. And if I'm not clean and sober, I'm nothing. I know that. So I'm grateful, and I think maybe we're out of time. God bless you. If you need a 12-step program, they're all over. Get involved.